This presentation will outline the ways you can build a personal brand, both within the cover letter and resume, as well as on social media and LinkedIn. First, let's start with the fact that a personal brand should be personal. It's kind of like a way to answer the why you question. It's not about treating yourself like a product. Instead, it's thinking creatively, strategically, and professionally about what makes you specifically qualified for a role. If the resume and cover letter tell your story, the personal brand drives the character development. It's the sum total of the things that make you unique and uniquely attractive as a job candidate. What goes into a brand? Typically, when I'm talking to a student about a professional brand, I'll talk about experience, skills, background, and passions or interests. In terms of experience, that might be a course you took. That might be a volunteer experience you had. It might be an internship or a full or part-time job, or any relevant activity that helped you gain knowledge and skills. Skills can come from anywhere, and they are center stage in a professional brand. Again, they might have come from a class assignment. They might have come from a job. These inventorying what your skills are is very important to defining your brand. Background is a great word when you're talking about brand. It might be your academic background. It might be your cultural identity. It might be something else about your experience that has given you a particular perspective or skill set. And finally, passions, the things that you care about, what's meaningful to you and what motivates you. These can be very important to your brand, particularly for DePaul students who are often interested in mission-oriented roles. Even outside of that, your passion might be a creative passion. It might be a skill-oriented passion. The puzzle pieces here all come together to create a brand. One way to simplify this is to really force yourself to fill in the blanks here on a sentence like this. My blank, blank, and blank make me an excellent candidate for this opportunity. What's exciting about this kind of brand statement is that it might be a little bit different for every role you apply to. And again, it is typically a mix of experience and skills for the first two. And then the third one is where we get distinctions, where we think a little bit about who we are as people and what that means for the role. One sample below is my academic background in marketing, my skills in social media and data analysis, as well as my interest in pursuing a career in food branding, make me an excellent candidate for this opportunity. So you can see this would be a specific brand statement for a marketing or social media opportunity for some kind of a food company or food-related business. If we start to map out a couple different brand statements, you'll then start to figure out a little bit more about yourself, but also you are suddenly creating immediacy around why you're a great candidate for a particular role and for a very specific role. So let's jump into LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of the most effective places to create and manage your online brand. It's really a fabulous digital summary of who you are and a way for you to build a network. What are the things you can do on LinkedIn? You can tell your story. That's where the brand comes in. You can connect to others to start to build out your network. And you can do a lot of research and education on LinkedIn in terms of looking at other people's experiences and learning from it. Your LinkedIn profile is not a resume. They certainly share similar sections, but they read very differently and have a different function. It really allows you the opportunity to showcase your brand in one place and to be active in the world's largest professional social networking platform. We'll just go through some of the most basic rules for LinkedIn. In terms of the photo, choose a clear, friendly, and appropriately professional image. For the headline, it doesn't have to be your name, job title, and company. LinkedIn will default to creating a headline that's your current or most recent job title. I say craft your own to succinctly showcase your value, proposition, and your goals. This example here, emerging UX and design research professional, is making a pretty clear claim about this person's career and where they're headed. The summary is an opportunity to really share who you are, what motivates you, and what you're skilled at. This is an opportunity you don't have on the resume, so take it on LinkedIn. In the experience sections, typically you can throw in volunteer experience, job experience, etc. It doesn't need to be as detailed as on your resume. It should instead be a summary. Some people even choose to use paragraph format in this section. Some people don't have a long job description. This is a space for you to just be a little more immediate. And I think it's really great to upload a work sample or rich media in throughout LinkedIn and the spaces it lets you do that to really show, don't tell. You really get to show that you have this experience rather than just say you do. And you can connect videos, PDFs, presentations, websites, whatever, through the rich media function. Obviously, education is going to be important on LinkedIn. This is probably the most similar thing to how you would function or how this would be featured on a resume. And then don't underthink the skills and endorsements, if only because LinkedIn increasingly is matching and pushing jobs at you based on the skills you've identified for yourself in the LinkedIn profile. So make sure you're getting out there and really connecting, getting those skills in there, and ask for endorsements if it's worth it to you for someone to actually make a claim about your skill. This could be a coworker, this could be a former supervisor, it could be anybody you've worked with in that skill space. It's never a bad idea to throw in courses, particularly the courses that sound or are oriented towards your brand. So for example, if I have a marketing skill, sure, I'm going to put my marketing course in there, but I might also put writing for social change because I'm really interested in marketing in a nonprofit space. And again, get recommendations. Reach out to people and ask a couple of managers or professors to recommend you for a particular opportunity. This is something you don't want to have to feel like you have to do all at once in the job search process. Start to cultivate these as you're building out this profile. All right, now we're going to talk about social media and professional brand. LinkedIn, on some level, is one of those social media platforms, but we're going to get a little bit deeper in terms of how it's a viable means for expanding your professional network and finding job openings. One study says that 48% of people use social media platforms as a way to search for their current job. All right, so first things first, you do want to make sure you clean up your search results if that is necessary. Be sure to set privacy settings as appropriate. Search your name periodically just to see what comes up, just in advance of submitting job applications. And if you don't like the search results, update your LinkedIn profile and other social media accounts regularly to raise their ranking. Get the word out. If you are currently looking for an opportunity, throw it on social media so that folks can see you out in that world. Including a link to your resume will make it easier for a potential referral to get that resume to the person they're referring it to. It is important to point out though, posting your job search on social media is risky if you're currently employed. There's every opportunity your current employer will see that, and if they haven't been informed, that might impact your day-to-day. Join industry conversations all over the social medias in which they're happening. Twitter and LinkedIn in particular are excellent tools to expand your network. And that sometimes just means sharing, retweeting, etc. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily writing a lot of content, but no, you're connecting to thought leaders and local professionals as well. And then Instagram your brand. Most of us use Instagram for the social side of social media, but professionally, Instagram is growing in use and scope and how people use it. So it's not a bad idea to create a professional-only profile on Instagram and use this account to research employers, follow the companies you might be interested in working at, follow the influencers who are making or doing good things in your industry, and generate a portfolio of career-related posts. You can use hashtags to hear about jobs. Many businesses are posting on Twitter and LinkedIn, and it's a good idea to check out some of these hashtags and see if you're following them and if it's useful to you. Make sure you also add social profile links to your resume. An active, well thought out social media presence can help you professionally. There really is no industry in which you aren't going to benefit from being active on social media professionally. Because many employers search social media as part of the vetting process, making it easier by putting it in your resume shows that you have nothing to hide. Finally, let's talk a little bit about personal identity and your professional brand. Um, it's going to be different for every person, but your identity, whether it's based on your gender, sexual orientation, ethnicity, culture, faith, or other element of your background, is fundamental to who you are. You have the choice to decide when or how to integrate your identity into your brand. You might choose to do it, you might choose not to do it. It can be a meaningful part of navigating your professional life. So we do work with a lot of students and alumni who ask about the risks and benefits of sharing personal details about their identities. And this varies a lot. This identity is complex. And it's something that you have to make a very specific, authentic personal choice about. And while we understand that identities are intersecting and not binary, we do have some general tips that we hope are helpful in navigating discussions around career development. So if your identity or background links to why you've selected a specific career path or professional interest, you can differentiate yourself from other applicants with a why statement, which connects who you are to what you do, and it illustrates your personal commitment to that role or career. For example, you might include a statement like this: as a first-generation college student navigating the opaque space of higher education without the insights of parents or a network of college-educated adults, I am passionate about providing support to under-resourced students, helping them succeed academically and thrive socially. Or, I am particularly interested in this role because I recently returned to college to complete my degree in health sciences after providing care for my disabled sister for 5 years. This experience taught me the value of a holistic approach to caregiving, and I am eager to use these skills to enhance the patient experience at Good Samaritan. These are both very clear examples of how the personal experience and background of the person who's applying for a role really does connect to the goals and what they want to do. That's not always going to be the case for everyone, but it's something that you can do and package into your professional brand. Really make sure you educate yourself about diversity-focused recruitment initiatives. Almost any industry has a wide variety of diversity-focused recruitment initiatives, and these range a lot. For example, the T. Howard Foundation funds internships to promote diversity in media and entertainment. So that's a space where many internships are unpaid. The T. Howard Foundation funds them and matches you with employers in media and entertainment. Microsoft has a program that's focused on attracting talent and building an inclusive approach to support individuals on the autism spectrum. Pepsi has a Ready to Return program that's a 10-week paid program designed to kickstart your career if you've taken a break for more than 2 years. Often this includes returning moms. These are all different examples of the kinds of opportunities you'll want to map out for your personal career path. With careful consideration, you can integrate your identity into your brand and job search in a way that contributes to your career. Employers are candidates too. So the uniqueness of background and perspective you bring to the job are a big part of the value you have to offer. Your job is to find the employer that sees and celebrates that value. The employers are candidates to become your employers. So part of connecting your personal identity to your professional identity is a way to suss out which employers value them. And I think that can be meaningful as well. And do some research. Visit prospective employers' websites and search them on LinkedIn and Glassdoor. Do they have a diversity and inclusion policy? Do they recruit? Do they offer training for employees? Are there identity-friendly benefits? Do they appear in identity-specific rankings? These are all ways to do a little bit of research if this personal and professional identity intersects for you and this is something that you would care about. Also, get some networking out there. It's critical for any career strategy, but it's a really good place to start to find people who have a shared experience because that can be really useful. When I'm working with students, I have my specific experience, but I can't speak to theirs. If you're out there networking on Ask or in LinkedIn and finding people who have navigated the experiences you have and with a background similar to yours, that's a really rich space to connect, but also to learn from other people's experiences. Professional associations are also really useful, and nearly every identity group has a professional network or association to support its members. Those are great spaces for networking or getting advice and contacts. All right, that concludes our presentation on personal brand. Check out our other presentations, and we have a video about resume and cover letter and how that brand statement maps into there. But we also have 50 new handouts on a wide variety of career toolkit topics at careercenter.depaul.edu.